I mean, if the Miami Heat are close, that means every team in the NBA is close. But I don't think they're close.
Wow.
Seriously though.
First of all, Joy, they have two undrafted players in their starting five.
And
they can't shoot. So they got two big problems. Listen, Jimmy Butler's a great athlete. They play,
they also have two All-Stars.
And then nobody else who can shoot.
Does he make the playoffs next year?
Well, that was determined, Amy, that was a lie. No, Jimmy Butler will not make the playoffs. And guess what? If I have to eat my words, then he is going to have a first-round exit.
Hi guys, how's it going? And welcome to another episode of eMiami. This time, NBA Finals Edition. Please excuse my terrible dancing, but sometimes you just gotta let it out. The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals and are gonna be playing against the Los Angeles Lakers in a best-of-7 series to bring home the chip. On this episode, we're going to take a look at the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Miami Heat in NBA 2K. We're also going to get a chance to talk to Brady Hawk and hear what he thinks about this series, his prediction, as well as some analysis on some advantages and disadvantages for both teams. Before we keep going, though, I do want to give a shout out to Kylie Ray Wang, another contributor here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Kylie, we're thinking about you. We're all here for you, and the Heat are going to pull this one through just for you. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of the NBA 2K highlights from the game. And we win when he does. Danny Green with a three-pointer, and that's good. Good pass from LeBron. Another steal by Butler on LeBron. LeBron just dribbled it right into his feet. Alley-oop to Bam with the reverse dunk. Fantastic pass by Jimmy Butler. Bam being guarded by Danny Green has Jay Crowder inside, who shoots the layup, and it's good. He take their first lead of the game, 8-7. Inside, right with Bam. Bam picks up the steal. Dribbling the ball down the floor. Has Caldwell Pope on him again. Finds Kelly Olynyk inside for the easy layup after Morris made a bad decision on the switch. Rondo not really giving much room to Dragic there. Hero was only taking one shot and he missed it. Oh, what a alley-oop to Derrick Jones Jr. Guarded by Avery Bradley. Gets the screen from Bam. Takes a mid-range jumper and it's also no good. Bam with the rebound and the layup. Making a few shots. Oh, here he goes. Another one. Top of the key. Nobody was on it, but decided not to take the shot. Alley-oop to Bam Adebayo. Big dunk for him. Heat take a 10-point lead. 10-point lead for the Heat, especially at the... Oh, three from LeBron, and it's good. Wow. I mean, that's a superstar right there. Danny Green tried to throw the alley-oop up to Anthony Davis. Tyler Hero finds it. Bam Adebayo for the easy dunk in transition. LeBron seeing what he can make happen. Easy lane, easy dunk. With the rebound over to Dragic, who passes it up to Bam Adebayo for another alley-oop. Halftime stats, Heat shooting 61% from the floor. Out-rebounding the Lakers. Also have 13 assists to the Lakers 7. Jimmy over on the wing. Probably looking for Crowder. Finding Duncan Robinson for the three. And it's good from Duncan Robinson. His first made shot of the day. Alley-oop to JaVale McGee. No one around him. Heat 48, Lakers 41. Dragic driving into the lane. Pass it back out to Kelly for the three. And that's good from Kelly Olynyk. Oh, LeBron finding some space. Dunks it right on Bam Adebayo. Kuzma setting the screen for LeBron. Back out to the three-point line. Kuzma takes a three, and it's good. 5-point lead. Let's see if the Heat can hold on and win this game. Avery Bradley over to Anthony Davis, guarded by Jay Crowder. LeBron at the three-point line takes a shot, and it's no good. But rebound by McGee was open inside, takes the layup, cutting that lead to 1. Bam, bring the ball down the court. Iguodala inside to Jimmy Butler, who makes the dunk. Anthony Davis. Back out to LeBron. Driving inside. Blocked by Bam, who just caught it out of the air. Bradley over to James, who takes a weird jumper, but he makes it. Back to Jimmy. Trying to get inside. Finds some space, and he makes the layup. Jimmy coming through in these moments like he did in the Milwaukee series. When you need him in the fourth quarter to score points, he's coming through for you. But on the defensive side, LeBron finds a wide open paint, makes the dunk. LeBron seeing what he can do against Jimmy, takes a weird shot, good defense by Jimmy, picks up his own offensive rebound and makes a reverse layup. LeBron with a fadeaway jumper, but oh, it wasn't a jumper, it was a pass to AD. It works. Steal Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis over to Danny Green, who makes the dunk. Lakers are pulling away. 2 minutes left. Heat down by 7. Have the other way. Passes it to Jimmy Butler on the alley-oop. Heat with a quick 2 points, making it a 5-point deficit. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. It's not impossible to come back from this, but it is very difficult, especially against LeBron James. Fadeaway 3 from LeBron. No good. Rebound by JaVale McGee. He makes the shot and draws the foul. Started sinking their shots. Jimmy takes another shot right in LeBron's face and is blocked with LeBron not even jumping. Inside to Bradley. Makes the layup. Anthony Davis with another rebound. LeBron with the 3. And that is in. That if the shots before didn't do it, that absolutely put the nail in the coffin. Cook just dribbles it out, and that will do it. The Miami Heat lose to the Los Angeles Lakers 84-71. All right, guys, and we're here with Brady Hawk, again, contributor to the 5 Reasons Sports, guru of the Miami Heat, teller of the future, knowing of everything that's going to happen. Brady, how's it going, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Brady, the Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals, and I'm going to take a second, and I'm going to say it again. The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals. This is not something that personally I would have guessed at the start of the season. I thought this was a good team. They had some good chances to make it deep into the playoffs, but the NBA Finals is something that I didn't think we were going to get to, and I'm so glad we are. Brady, did you expect this coming into this year?
Well, there's a lot of unexpected things that happened outside of basketball that you couldn't have predicted. So it all kind of coincides, but going into the bubble, it was kind of like this team kind of is the team that could come out of the bubble because they have that culture, they have that team working hard, everything else that goes with it. They have veterans, they have young guys, they have the perfect mixture that you'd want in this type of environment. And then you have the most adjustable coach in the NBA. This is the type of environment that you're gonna need to make adjustments. And that's a big thing going into this NBA Finals, having Eric Spoelstra at the top of the team.
Yep. I think I've said it myself. I know Alf said it. I know a bunch of other contributors on the 5 Reasons Sports, as well as Heat Nation on Twitter, has said it. But a lot of us think this is the floor for this team, right? You've got Duncan Robinson really starting to blow up now. You've got Bam. We've always known Bam is a star, but he's really starting to blow up now. You've got Tyler Hero, first year in the NBA. Jimmy Butler, first year with the team. Do you agree with the thought process that this is the floor for this team?
Absolutely. For one reason, there's assets that still can be them trying to get free agency or anything else. But that aside, I think the biggest thing is just these guys developing. Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, as you mentioned, they have such a high ceiling. What they're doing at this age, Tyler Hero being 20 years old, taking the reins of an offense and on the spark of getting to the NBA Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals that's just amazing. And then Bam Adebayo taking this step in this third year in this bubble environment to kind of just be the guy that a lot of people were kind of not even knowing his name entering. Yep. And then he gets
Colin Cowherd, we're talking to you.
And he gets a block on Jason Tatum, and that kind of sparks some people in the national media that had no idea what Bam Adebayo does on a regular basis.
Yep.
This is stuff he's done all regular season. He's starting to show it more in the bubble because people are taking a closer look. But he's a guy that's always going to do the small things, and he's done it all season. So just looking at all these young guys on this team that have time to grow, even Duncan Robinson, as you mentioned, this is obviously his first breakout year. Technically, it's not his rookie year, but it kind of seems that way because now he's getting the playing time. So there's so much time for this team to grow, seeing if, KZ Okpala even can find a way to develop, or a Kendrick Nunn can get back to his normal play that he played in the regular season.
Bam has played out of his mind. I don't think any of us are really surprised with the levels he's playing at because we've all been screaming for it for a while now, where we've said, be more aggressive on offense and it'll happen. Be more aggressive on defense and it'll happen, right? We knew he could do this. But you talk about some of those key assets, right? We've talked about Giannis possibly coming in 2021, another max player. Do you think that the focus now should be build this team around Bam, or still reset, look for that max player and complement that max player?
Well, I think you have to build around Bam just because so many guys in this league would love to play with a Bam Adebayo. Just one example, you look at D'Angelo Russell talking about building his perfect team, and he picks Bam Adebayo as his center, and he plays with Karl Anthony Towns. So that just shows the impact he has on the guys. He's just a very likable guy by the media and players and coaches. So he's just a different type of prospect that people are going to want to play with. And you mentioned his level of play. Jimmy Butler's a guy that his aggression on offense, people want it, but ultimately he plays better when he's the facilitator. Bam Adebayo helps this team when he's the aggressor trying to score the basket, because he's the engine of this team. And then when you start to see him take these mid-range jumpers, as we saw in Game 6 to kind of close it out, that's just, if he adds that element to his game, more of like a Chris Bosh like mid-range game, it's just going to grow more and more. That's just another evaluation of this. This is the floor of this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that who I think is the best player on our team right now is Bam, right? Jimmy agrees with that sentiment. I think Jimmy's great. I think Jimmy brings out a lot. But right now, Bam is really driving us. And it's crazy to think that even he has so much more room where he can improve, which is just nuts to me. Going into the series against the Lakers, Bam is obviously going to play a huge part. We've said it before. As Bam goes, this team goes. Is there another player outside of Bam Adebayo who you think is the most important player on this Heat going into this series?
I actually think it's going to be between two, Goran or Tyler. I think that the guard play in this series is going to be much needed. There's a lot of things that I think that either Goran or Tyler can exploit on this Lakers defense. They have a plethora of bigs, which is something. But I think another one, not to name too many people, but Duncan Robinson's another one. Yeah. I think this guard play on this team can really do some stuff in this NBA Finals. And ultimately, Jimmy Butler is going to be guarded by LeBron James in the fourth quarters of these games. Yeah. I think there's going to be another guy that's going to have to step up the end. And I think that's ultimately going to be Tyler Hero and Goran Dragic, which is crazy to say that a 34-year-old or a 20-year-old kind of picking your poison is going to take over the fourth quarters of NBA Finals. So.
Yep. But now I'm going to give you the floor, Brady. Do you want to go over some advantages and disadvantages for each team going into this final series?
First thing, like I mentioned before, the advantage for Miami is going to be the guard play. They're going to be able to work their dribble handoffs to Duncan Robinson. They're going to be able to let Tyler Hero run some ISO, which he absolutely thrives on. Goran Dragic's going to be able to attack the basket like he always does. Those guys are going to have to step up, which they will. They always seem to thrive in those moments. And they're going to have to be the guys on this team to kind of win them some games. And then ultimately on the Lakers side, they're going to look to take advantage of the bigs. Yeah. You're going to look at Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. There's already some people speculating about that Bam matchup, which is just insane. But ultimately, obviously, that's not the case. But Daniel Tice, Enes Kanter, and Robert Williams did not play with Miami's lack of bigs. It's only Bam in the rotation right now. So they had some good stretches. So I think that's going to be the same case with they're going to get some down low work from JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. But I guess that's what you're willing to give up with all the positives on the other side of things. So I think that's going to be a big advantage with the Miami Heat and Lakers. And I think, like I mentioned before, a big advantage is going to be LeBron James guarding Jimmy Butler at the end of games. And I just think the rotation thing is going to be interesting, which way the Lakers go, because we can talk about this, but ultimately we don't know what it's going to look like. Because if they go big, we don't know how the matchup's going to look like on the Heat side. If the Lakers could go small and put AD at the 5, and then it's good matchups for Miami. But if they go big, you're going to have to probably see some Kelly Olynyk minutes in there to try to Bam. You can't play Crowder at the 5 guarding JaVale McGee. So it's going to be interesting kind of see how what they do with their rotation, and ultimately That's another thing I talked about. Spo, he adjusts on the fly, so that shouldn't be a big deal heading into this.
Yeah, I think for me, you're talking about that Bigs matchup. I'm really curious to see if we see any Myers-Leonard minutes. I love Myers-Leonard as a person. You wrote a great article about him on the 5 Reasons Sports website. I'm going to put a link to that below. Talk about Myers and the way he's kept up with his team. He's always at the edge of the bench. He's always cheering us on. He's the first one to give high fives coming off the floor. I'm curious to see if we see any minutes from him. Do you think we see any minutes at all from Myers-Leonard in these finals?
If there was any series where we're going to see Myers-Leonard minutes, this would be the one. Right. I think you're going to kind of know after game one. Game one's going to be kind of the telling to see how it goes. If the bigs are just overmatching Miami, then you're going to think about maybe going that way. I think he's a guy that can kind of bang around with a guy off the bench. If they put a guy in to kind of be a spurt, the Lakers do, you could kind of throw Myers-Leonard in there because ultimately he does get in a little bit of foul trouble sometimes. So he's got a guy that you're kind of throw in there to kind of just battle with a big guy and get some rebounds. So if there's any series that could happen, it'll be this one.
Brady, how do you think the series ends up?
I think this series has seven games written all over it. I'm going to go with Miami in 7. I just like their a lot of people are already, national media not even discussing the Miami Heat once again. It's all about LeBron. But ultimately, I think Andre Iguodala is going to get his 4th ring before LeBron does, and kind of put his stamp on this NBA championship because he's been here before, and they need their leadership, and he's going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. For my prediction, I hate to disagree with you because I always think you're right. But for my prediction, I'm going to say Heat in 6 for one reason and one reason only. I think the coaching is really going to shine through here. I think Vogel isn't a terrible coach, but there's a reason why he's bounced around a little while. Spoelstra's really taken him to town at the times that they've played against one another. I mean, Indiana series were tough, but I think that was a completely different team than what we're looking at now with the Lakers. I say Heat in 6 purely because of that coaching matchup, and I think this team is just going to want it more. I don't think they're going to fall back like they did against the Celtics. In that Celtics series, they had those moments where they weren't playing super aggressive, right? And they were just kind of like, oh, we can kind of take this quarter off, or we'll turn it on in the 4th quarter and come back. I think you're playing against LeBron. You're playing against AD. They're going to have it on the entire time. So personally, I say Heat in 6, but if it wasn't Heat in 6, I agree with you, Heat in 7. So thank you so much for joining us, Brady. Don't forget to follow Brady at Twitter on @BradyHawk305. Don't forget to read all of his articles. I'm going to link some of them below. And don't forget to keep it locked in here on 5 Reasons Sports. Thanks. That'll do it for this week's episode of eMiami. Really looking forward to the NBA Finals. Going to be a good series, a strong series, and the Heat are going to continue to display that culture that everyone is raving about. Thank you to Brady Hawk for joining us and talking some Miami Heat basketball. As always, don't forget to keep it tuned in here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Subscribe, like the video, comment. Let me know what you want to see more of. Let me know what you want to see less of. I'm going to be streaming these games, as I said, on my Twitch channel. So that's going to be twitch.tv/WallAmac. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at WallAmac16. And as always, go Heat.